We begin in the United States, where President Donald Trump has escalated a confrontation with Democratic-led states by openly threatening to invoke the U.S. Insurrection Act. Now, the Insurrection Act is a centuries-old law that gives the president sweeping powers to deploy the military on U.S. soil. The move comes after multiple courts blocked his attempts to send National Guard troops into cities without local consent.
Insurrection Act, under what conditions or terms would you?
Well, I'd do it if it was necessary. So far it hasn't been necessary, but we have an Insurrection Act for a reason. If I had to enact it, I'd do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that. I mean, I want to make sure that people aren't killed.
The act was last used during the 1992 Los Angeles riots and is one of the few exceptions to the Posse Comitatus Act, which generally forbids using the military for domestic policing. Historically, it's been reserved for extreme unrest or to protect civil rights. President Trump, however, has long floated the idea of invoking it for routine law enforcement, from immigration crackdowns to protest. Now, legal experts and lawmakers warn that such move could undermine civil liberties and tilt the balance of power between states and Washington. In fact, the Illinois governor even blamed the Trump administration for following a playbook of causing chaos, creating fear, and making demonstrations seem like a violent mob.
The Trump administration is following a playbook: cause chaos, create fear and confusion, make it seem like peaceful protesters are a mob by firing gas pellets and tear gas canisters at them. Why? To create the pretext for invoking the Insurrection Act, so that he can send military troops to our city.
Now, the immediate flashpoint is both Chicago and Portland, and over the weekend, federal judges issued orders blocking President Trump from deploying hundreds of out-of-state Guard troops to Oregon. At the same time, Illinois sued the White House after Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth brought 300 Illinois Guard members under federal control and mobilized 400 more from Texas for deployment to Chicago. Despite the falling murder rate in the Windy City, nearly half of what it was at the height of the pandemic, President Trump has still insisted that the city is like a war zone. The judges have so far allowed some deployments to continue while the lawsuits proceed, but warn the president may have exceeded his authority. In fact, Chicago's case marks the fourth lawsuit against President Trump's domestic military operations. And over the weekend, scores of protesters faced off against federal immigration agents on Chicago's southwest side after a Border Patrol agent shot an armed woman. ICE agents fired pepper spray and rubber bullets as part of a heated exchange with protesters.
Look at what's going on. These are war zones. These are war zones in neighborhoods that are full of life, full of culture, full of life, full of vibrancy. We love our diversity, and we got to unite working people against this fascist authoritarian regime.
The political battle has also spilled into social media, with Oregon Republicans trying to rally support for the president by sharing a dramatic image purporting to show protests in Portland spiraling into chaos. The same image was posted on X, Instagram, and Facebook, but it turned out to be a fake composite. The photo stitched together riot police from Ecuador in 2008 and a fiery demonstration in Brazil in 2017. One of the shills even wore the word "policia," a glaring clue that it wasn't American. After users exposed the fabrication, the posts were deleted from X and Instagram. However, the Facebook status still remains online. But stakes are even more serious, with troops already in transit, governors mounting lawsuits, and President Trump mulling emergency powers unseen in decades. The question still remains, will the president take the step of invoking the Insurrection Act?
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.